What is up, RPG nerds? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Bright Nelson from RPG Ranked, and if you enjoy Octopath Traveler, Octopath Traveler 2, or just RPG videos in general, please like, subscribe, and check out the channel. And if you're a returning viewer, please subscribe. I have so many returning viewers that have not subscribed yet, and I love all of you guys, and I want to see you more on the channel, see you commenting, see you on posts and stuff, and I just want the channel to grow so I have more reason to make more videos. Alright, with that out of the way, that's always annoying, but it's just something I have to say. With that out of the way, let's rank all of the latent powers in Octopath Traveler 2. Alright, let's mix this up a little. I know I did that. I don't want the exact same order of the last video I just made because that was boring. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's start with Hikari's Every Drop Counts ability. Wait, Hikari's... I am high on crack, guys. Hikari's Shadows Hold ability. I could not be more different. Alright, here we go. Hikari's Shadows Hold. He has 3 things he can do. A super powerful sword attack. Pole arm and sword attack on everybody. As well as a 2-hit sword attack that gives you another turn. So you have some versatility here. Big single target damage, good multi-target damage with decent breaks depending on who you're fighting, and a decent sword attack as well as another turn. Of course, early in the game, it's all about the big hitting sword attack, or if you're fighting like in boss battles, you want the big hit sword attack, right? At the beginning of the game. And then, of course, you're going to want, against normal enemies, you're going to want to hit everyone, right? So you can kill them as fast as possible. But later in the game, once you start having like strong abilities and stuff, Shadows Hold isn't quite as good. Now what is good is having 2 turns. Because you can hit with the 2-hit sword attack, probably break some enemies if you're lucky. And then, if they're weak to swords, and then you get a second turn. So you're doing a decent amount of damage and then getting a second turn. Is it as good as Throne Ace, where you get 2 turns where you can do anything? No, but it's pretty good because you get a turn and then you get some bonus damage. It's basically giving that second serving vibe from the first Octopath. It lets you do some extra damage and then move on to better things. Early in the game, this is really good for clearing out trash mobs or for dealing huge damage to bosses. But later in the game, it's nice just have that extra turn because obviously there are better abilities than just hitting with a sword. Like you want to have nice debuffs, buffs, like better breaking abilities. So of course, this is one of the stronger like limit break type abilities where you actually like do damage. At the beginning of the game, it's really powerful, but the later and later you get, the weaker it gets. However, the extra turn is still nice. Alright, let's move on to Osvald, who I think has the worst of them all. Concentrate spell is really mid. It's nice if someone is weak to an element, but why should I... Like, if I want to use, like, a powerful magic attack on one enemy, I'm going to use, like, Elemental Barrage. And if I want to hit all the enemies, I'm going to use one of the all-hit ones, and even better, one of the all-hit ones with Advanced Magic. Concentrating spells is great, but usually you can do just as much damage with Elemental Barrage. And, I mean, if you have the latent power, use it. It's not garbage. I put it in C tier. But if you have it, use it, but otherwise, it's just very mid. At the beginning of the game, it's good, but it just gets worse and worse. I mean, yeah, it's there. You don't have to, but like, are you ever going to be using your leechies on Osvald? No. I mean, I love buffing Osvald. Don't get me wrong. I love giving him Peacock Strut, Hoot and Holler in with what's his face, Partitio, and then using Donate BP, and then Elemental Barrage spamming. But Elemental Barrage is just as powerful as a concentrated normal elemental attack. And I'm sure that this will kind of change with the sorcerer and stuff. I haven't got there yet, but I assume that that will be better. But also, later in the game, I don't think that this is going to be as useful as getting extra turns or getting max BP instantly. Or, like, even if this, like, whatever, it's not the sorcerer in this game, whether the conjurer, arcanist, or whatever. Yeah, I've read enough about them to know that, yes, it can be good, but again, it's just concentrating damage on the one enemy. And if I want to do that, I'm going to use a stronger one single target attack instead of like Elemental Barrage or one of the other multiple attacking abilities. Obviously, there's so many attacking abilities in this game, and concentrating spells is not that great. I mean, it was good in the first game because you could concentrate. I mean, like, I don't know. I just think with how broken some of these other latent powers are, it's not the best. Anyway, let's move on. I've been talking about this forever. All right. I want to talk about Throne a little bit later. Let's move on to Agnea. Altogether now is going to be an A tier. It's basically like Sealtage's Seduction. I don't really know how to pronounce that name, but it's basically that, right? Where you can put one of your abilities on everybody. But it's nice because you don't have to waste a turn giving it to Agnea. No, she just activates latent power and you do it. This can be obscene with some of the things like Prayer to the Sacred Flame, that one shield ability that like halves damage. If you want to buff your whole party with Peacock Strut, if you want to buff your whole party with Lion Dance, if you want to hit everyone with wind attacks. I mean, you could just use your EX skill, but early in the game, that's nice. You can hit everyone with Ruinous Kick and just break people. Like, reducing shield points is always good. Yeah, there's just so much you can do with Altogether now. And yeah, if you want to... And like, obviously, with the different secret jobs and stuff, it's really good. I can't think of a time where this is bad. It's so good, honestly. It's really good. All right, let's move on to Partitio's Hoot and Holler, which is also an A tier. I want to put it right behind Altogether now. Getting 5 BP instantly and then donating it is so good early in the game. Obviously, later, there's a lot of BP restoring items. You have Concoct. You have all this stuff. But there is never a time where Hoot and Holler isn't broken early in the game. Concentrate spells, it just gets worse and worse, just like this, but it was never really that good in the beginning. Here, it's obscene, because I can just give Hoot and Holler, put all my BP into a character like Osvald or Hikari, or like, I don't know, Throne, whoever is your huge attacker, and you can just give them all that BP in a second. And like, yeah, it's just, there's so much capabilities here. And as you get more BP restoring items, yes, Partitio's Hoot and Holler is going to keep falling, but even if you have those items, it's nice to just save one of those items. And yeah, it's the items that give you full BP are still pretty rare. Like, you can get like the ones with 3 BP and that's nice, but the ones that give you max BP are still pretty rare. So overall, Hoot and Holler is very good. Alright, let's move on to Leave No Trace, which is S tier. Come on, you get 2 turns. Combine that with having high BP, and you're going to be broken. Combine that with some of the divine skills, EX skills, secret jobs. This basically means Throne can do double the damage, double the healing, double the buffing. It's not like a double cast either, where it's just magic, it's everything. It's crazy, and it's not like whatever that one in the first game is, Aliphin's Enlightenment? I think so, like, where it just does the same thing twice. No. You get to choose twice. It's broken. It makes Throne one of the best characters just because of that. It's so good. Having 2 turns is just so good. There's no denying it. It's amazing. Alright, let's move on to Every Drop Counts. And I'm going to put this in B tier. This is amazing during the first half of the game. But once you get a good selection of concocting, it just gets outclassed because there are other latent abilities, latent powers, sorry, that just can do more. And when it's just, oh, let's save some items. Is it really that good? No. And it's really good at the beginning, but even still, you shouldn't really be concocting every battle anyway. So, like, you don't really need to save items all the time, so just every drop counts is kind of obsolete. It's not as good. It's, like, obsolete later in the game. And it's still pretty mid. Early in the game, just save your items for boss battles, and you'll be okay. Oh, my nose is so clogged up. Sorry, guys. Alright, let's move on to animal instincts. I'm going to have to put this in second to last. It doesn't... Two of her abilities, it's basically like Hikari's, but they do less damage, and they don't break. They're not swords or pole arms or anything. They just do damage, and they don't break any weaknesses. One of her abilities is good. I will admit, it lowers defense and elemental defense, and it breaks every foe. But like a Ruinous Kick with Agnea can do that. Agnea with Armor Corrosive, Shackle Foe. It's very limited when you have two attacks that are just weaker than Hikari's or weaker than so many other skills in the game. And then you have one pretty decent attack, but even Hired Help. Hired Help can do the same thing with some cash. Like, Ochette is not... I originally thought she was going to be one of the best characters in the game, but, like, her latent power is pretty mid. Her capture and prepare is nice, but, like, as much as I love Ochette, when it comes to personality and stuff, you know, come on, her latent power could have been so much better. If it was like Sveta from Golden Sun Dark Dawn, oh my gosh, this would be obscene, where she does like 8 times more damage than everyone, but sadly that's not the case. It's like it's comparable to like Red 13's limit breaks. It's like there. It's just kind of there. And because you can debuff defense, elemental defense, and break shields on everyone at the same time, I still think that is better than being able to concentrate spell when elemental barrage is out there being stronger anyway. But honestly, it's still pretty bad. Alright, let's move on to Temenos, who has the other S tier. Look, guys, I try to make it as clean and nice looking as possible. Temenos' Judgment. I completely underrated Temenos in every way of the word when I first started this game. I thought he was going to be the worst character. I was like, he's the worst starting character. He's a cleric. He's going to be like Ophelia. I mean, I love Ophelia, but she is kind of basic. Then we get Temenos, who's basically the Sean Spencer buddy cop cleric, and he's hilarious. I love him, and his latent power is so much better than I thought it would be. Give him elemental barrage. Give him multi-hit physical attacks. Give him something like that. He can be obscene at breaking enemies. Like a max charge elemental barrage basically breaks anything in one hit. It doesn't matter what enemy. Like, Judgment is broken. I don't think it's as broken as having 2 turns, because obviously you can figure out other ways to break the enemies. There's a lot of ways to break enemies in this game, especially even compared to the first game. However, this is obscene. Like, come on. Elemental barrage, like, you can hit like 8 times. I don't know. I'm glad this is in the game. I don't know how it got past playtesting. It's so broken. Oh, and Coerce. Sleep at an inn. Go in. Oh, that sounded bad. Go to an inn. Go up to a townsperson. Coerce them and be like, hey, yo, bro, latent power, elemental barrage. It just, as long as you can go first and get some like passives that make you start with more BP, it's so easy to get information out of people or whatever. Like, it's just broken. There's so many cases where this is just so good. Anyway, thank you guys all for watching. This was all the latent powers ranked in Octopath 2. I'm sure you knew that because you probably watched the video. I doubt you would skip to the outro. But if you enjoyed this video, check out the other videos on the channel. The next one that's coming out is shipping every... This is dumb, but it's in honor of my dad, who ships me and my brother like every single day. In honor of my dad, guys. Ships an this video, I'll be shipping an Octopath 1 character with an Octopath 2 character. It was really interesting, and some of the ships turned out to be pretty terrible, but, you know, some of them ended up really well, so I kind of liked making that video. So please check that out. That's coming out soon. If you enjoy this channel and you're a returning viewer or subscriber, and if you're a returning viewer, please subscribe. That would be so helpful. But if you love this channel, we have merch down in the description. We have it linked on the YouTube, the page where it describes the channel, the About section. If you want an RPG ranked shirt, I wish I had one on to show you, but they're pretty cool. We also have mugs and stuff, so if you want some merch, that'd be great. And of course, comment down below what you think. Thank you guys all for watching. Peace out, RPG nerds. Have a fantastic day.